So this here is, if I go this direction, the dollar is worth more. This is an important concept called appreciation. The dollar is gaining value as it rises because it's buying more of something. It's buying more Mexican currency. It's gaining value. It's buying more Mexican pesos. But the thing about this, an increase in value, is mathematically, if I go this direction, the Mexican peso is losing value. So this is a peso depreciation. All right, so if I were to have the dollar going up and then down, if I were to flip it, the peso would go down and then up. All right, so these are mirror images of each other. As the dollar gets stronger, the peso gets weaker because it's the same number upside down. And so if I were to graph these two currencies, it would be the same shape upside down over time. So this is what the currency could be. In 2008 or so, the peso was very strong and it has lost value. The dollar is actually strengthened. And so this could be because of a strengthening currency could be because of good events in the country or bad events in the other country. And there's no right way to tell. So what do we do with this? How can we use this to make a model of how currencies move? First of all, imagine a buyer in Mexico who wants to buy a US product for $100. Now, if I'm American, I just go to the mall, I spend $100, I walk home. I never change money. My bank doesn't do any exchange rates. This is only for Mexican buyers coming and asking for dollars. So if you imagine somebody asking for dollars, that's demand. Or if I buy for 800 pesos the same product, I'm choosing between the two. But the only thing that's going to make me cross the border and buy the Mexican product is if it's cheaper. And so this fluctuating price means when I ask for pesos, I've got a bank account with dollars in it. If I go to Mexico and ask for pesos, I'm going to have to exchange it. And that's the only time that the exchange rate comes into play. If I stay home and go to the mall myself, there's no exchange. So what does this mean? For the American person, the American buyer, the US product is always 100. But if a Mexican buyer asks at their bank for $100 and they say, I have a bank account in pesos, they're going to have to exchange their money at the exchange rate to get US dollars. And so if they want money, their bank is going to say, if you want to buy this, we'll take out pesos from your account after we exchange it into dollars. And so the answer is, the question is, how much does this product cost a Mexican buyer? I know it costs me 100. What about someone from overseas or across the border? The answer is, it depends. It's a changing price because this price is changing. And so this price if they want $100, they find that it takes 10 pesos to get one, so it's going to take 10 times that to get them all. All right, and so 1 peso gets 1 peso is worth 10 cents, or you could say $1 is worth 10 pesos. And so $100 has to be 1,000 pesos. If we keep going, now we would see that as the dollar's worth more, each peso is worth less. If you go from here to here, you can say, well, I've got all these pesos. They're not buying as many dollars. Therefore, I need more pesos to get the same number of dollars. And so the price here is $12.50. I just used this exchange rate. So $100 is now 1,250 pesos. Finally, if you go to if a Mexican buyer comes in with a very weak peso and says, look, I need $100, but my peso's not very strong, you're going to need more of these weak pesos to buy the same number of dollars. And so the answer is 1,500 pesos. All right, so this is important. This product didn't change. The price tag didn't change in America. The American never notices this, but the Mexican is seeing the price rise. So as the peso depreciates, the US product costs more. What that means for the macroeconomy is that this US seller is not going to be able to export to Mexico. All right? And so I'm going to write this a different way. I'm going to say this. As the dollar appreciates, US exports drop. The dollar is strengthening, and so we cannot afford to sell abroad. And so a strengthening dollar is actually hurting our production, hurting our GDP, hurting our sales overseas. All right, so that's one sort of important result from this.